Good morning, everyone. My name is Tony Holowitz, and last week I was asked if I could refer someone to an Act CRM review. Well, generally when I get that kind of request, it's because they're looking at a different kind of product or they are trying to learn a little bit more about Act CRM and want to compare it to other software. And a lot of times that other software is things like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, which are all web-based CRM tools. And when I was asked that question, it got me to thinking a little bit. Well, if I were to give a review of Act, obviously it'd be biased because I'm an Act software user. But having stated that, and having mentioned that, and admitting that, I think the way I look at Act is a little bit different. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Many years ago, I attended a luncheon and the person was speaking about computers, and he said something that I never forgot. He said, people think computers are going to keep you organized. And he said, the funny thing is this, and this struck me, and I never forgot it. He said, if you're disorganized before you get a computer, you're going to be disorganized after you get a computer. And what I've realized over the years is what Act CRM software is really all about is helping people have a methodology for getting more organized. And a lot of the people I work with are frankly not that organized. And a lot of what I do with my training and consulting is I help people come up with a plan. That plan behind the scenes is really an organizational plan. And once that plan is in place, they can then use a tool like Act or frankly any software to use that to become better organized and stay on task. So when I'm asked about Act in general, to me, I always tell people, whatever software you use, as long as you have a good plan and you stick to that plan, it's probably going to be productive for you. The advantage of Act is it's been around a long time, and it really looks not at the broader picture, but it really focuses on the individual contact. It's customizable, and it has offline versions where software you buy today, like Salesforce or Zoho or HubSpot, they are web-based application. Yeah, they might have apps for your phone, so if the internet goes down, but Act has a desktop version that is not reliant on the internet. So if the internet goes down, you have access to your Act data. The beauty of Act is it has both. You can get Act on your desktop computer, you can get Act in the cloud, you can get a combination of Act together with cloud and desktop, so you get the best of both worlds. Act has been around so long and gone through so many iterations that it just has spent years and years developing, and frankly, a lot of what Act is about today is really the same thing. So to me, the most compelling thing when I see comparisons to other software is this. When I think of Act, and to be honest with you, in all the years I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever really gotten a call, or I can count on one hand the number of people that refer to it as Act CRM. It's always just been Act. It's such a product that's been around for years. That's how people refer to it. But the thing that always strikes me is when you see reviews for other software, even commercials, the way they promote themselves, it starts with things like dashboards and pipelines and social media, all-in-one, sales funnels, deals, tracking performance. But the thing they don't mention is this. The reality is to get to all of that, to track everything, you've got to focus on one individual contact. What do you want to do with that contact? Do you want to call that contact? Do you want to email them? Do you want to do marketing to them? Do you want to send them a letter? What is it you want to do, and how do you keep track of all of that? I think things like dashboards and sales funnels, what they don't talk about is all the hard work that goes into managing contacts one at a time, businesses one at a time, and really starting to get to know them. And you don't have reports, you don't have funnels until you get in and really work with individual contacts. And I think that's where Act is unique and has been unique for years. They realize the value of let's just focus on one contact. When I started using Act, it was very long ago, and it was version 2.0. They're now up to version 24, and in the not too distant future, version 25 is going to come out. I'm old school. I started with um, having contact information on index cards. And you'd have a card file and you'd put them in alphabetically, sometimes by the company name, sometimes by the person's name. But that was very old school. And when I first saw ACT and said, wait a minute, I can get all that information into a database. So if I want to look up someone, all I got to do is look up their name or their company or the city they're in. Wow, that blew my mind. I thought that was the greatest thing. But today, I think the emphasis from a sales point of view when they're trying to sell you the software is on the glitzy stuff. And to me, there's two parts of using Act CRM or any CRM. There's the day-to-day just input of data and getting stuff in and working with it, and really getting a feel for working with contacts that have nothing to do with software. Software just records what you've done. But really the goal here is having a plan before you ever sit down to use that software. So when it comes to comparing ACT to other software, I find that difficult to do because I think ACT is sort of plain. It's not as glitzy, but it's real and it's what we do every single day. Are they trying to make it better? A little more glitzy? Yeah. They're trying to reach out to a younger demographic. But my experience has been a younger demographic is swayed and looks at CRM differently. They want dashboards. They want social media. They want cool. They want funnels. They want deals. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into that individual contact that makes ACT unique. And that's why it's been around for 35 years. I mean, let's face it. Not that much has changed. It really hasn't. And having stated that, it's really about those one-on-one relationships. And you know what? ACT can help you do that. That's my opinion. I feel pretty strongly about that, as I think you can tell. But that's my thoughts. That's my ACT CRM review. It's what you make of it. Even if you had another software, it's what you make of it. And for those of you that are using ACT, thinking about going elsewhere, what I always tell people is ACT is the devil you know. And before you move on, make sure you're utilizing ACT to the best of its capabilities, because there will be a learning curve if you make a decision to move away from ACT, and you might not find it's worth it. Utilize the heck out of ACT, and once you do that, if it doesn't meet your needs, then yeah, maybe you want to look at something else. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you a little background on my thoughts when I'm asked that question about ACT reviews. And if you call me, I can lead you to some other resources that might give you some other insights. But reach out to me. Tony Holowitz, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye now.